Hi, welcome to this channel. Firstly, thank you for watching because this is my first YouTube video. If you want to grow at your career, be a better leader and navigate through tough management moments, this channel is for you. Namaste, my name is Vishan Raj Kesi. I was born and raised in Kathmandu, Nepal. Academically, I completed ACCA, BBA and MBA. Professionally, I have been working in a leadership role for more than a decade now. Please provide me with your feedback so that I can improve on my work. In the first few videos, I'll be providing one career tip at the end of each video. So please do watch till the end. My first topic is how to learn effectively. In any career, learning is the foundation. So I think learning how to learn is very helpful. We all have different habits and different things that work for us. And if you combine these things with what I'm going to share today, it should help you excel your career. So, the first technique is hydration. This means drinking plenty of water. There has been lots of studies to show that a hydrated mind is much more creative and effective. It can also retain memory for a longer period of time. We often get busy in our life and in our daily routine, be it your work or life in general. To make it happen, we need to make sure that the environment is properly set up. So this means keeping the water bottle next to you, filling it up in your breaks and things like that. So while the technique is about drinking plenty of water, it is really about setting up your environment so that you could succeed and learn things effectively. In general, drinking water is a healthy thing to do, so it has multiple benefits. The second technique is asking why, and this means having a curious mind. Scientists often use this technique to discover many things in this world. This is also about really learning the core concept in everything that you learn. When you only focus on what and how during your training period or whenever you are learning something, you may get stuck later in life or later at work when you are actually supposed to solve the real problems. But if you know why, chances are that you'll be able to solve the real problems much faster and effectively. When you understand why, you can detect the problem, you know the core concept, you can understand the opportunities, and you can always contribute for continuous improvement later at work or in your life. By having a curious mind and trying to ask why, scientists have discovered so many things and our life has been so easier. Then why not use this to excel your career? Next is the concept called localization. This means trying to look around you to understand whatever you are learning. Many international brands and the business houses are really smart to use this technique. For example, Starbucks. When they went to Japan for the first time, they really understood the Asian market. They really understood that this country is tea lovers. They really understood Japan and its people really well and catered to their needs. And later, Starbucks was a hit in Japan. So again, if the business house can excel their business, then why can't we use this to excel our career? Many of us work for outsourcing companies and international brands and with international people, be it customers or employees. In such a case, chances are that you have never been to that country, you have never met the people, you never know about the culture. So, if you try to localize things, try to understand within your periphery and relate to the concept, then it will be much easier for you to work. For example, you may be working for a bank in another country. You have never met the people out there, you never know the system, but banks are everywhere in this world. So look at the banks within your country. Look at the bank that you bank with. The systems are often similar. So in general, this concept talks about looking around yourself to try to understand the concept you are learning. Next technique is called visualization. This means imagining everything that you learn in the form of image. In general, brain often retains the memory in the form of visual than in the form of data. It's easier to remember visuals than to remember the data. And it is easier to remember the story. One of the techniques to remember a story is to start forming images in your brain when you learn any topic. When you form images, of course, it's going to depend on your childhood, on your experience, what you have seen. Things we imagine might be different depending on our childhood, our experience, and things like that. However, imagining things and forming an image is an important part. For example, the house you imagine if you are from a rural area versus the apartment you imagine if you are from a city area might be different. But the key here is to imagine the house. Later, when you get the real problem, you'll remember that story. You'll imagine those images and it will be much easier for you to solve that problem. Let's say you work in a hospitality sector and you are training and learning about customer service. And the trainer is training you how to greet a customer in the morning. You can start imagining and forming images during the training period itself. Imagine a couple as a customer who comes into your restaurant. Imagine that you are smiling, you are greeting, so that story will always remain in your brain. So whenever you greet the customer in reality, you'll always try to link it to that image and that story, and you'll always try to make it better than what you have imagined during your training period. Last but not the least, the technique is writing and reviewing your notes. It's really important to understand how our brain works. It is really smart. However, it has a lot of things to remember. So, it is really necessary to keep writing notes and also to review it in timely manner. Personally, I prefer handwritten notes. However, in this digital age, you can make digital notes as well. Keep storing everything that you learn. You don't need to remember everything by heart. Writing notes and reviewing it in timely manner is a smart way to learn effectively. Also, if you are going to a training, if you are trying to learn something and you are not writing notes, then the return on investment of your time is actually negative because you are not trying to learn effectively and you are not getting anything out of it. So I suggest whenever you go to a training, whenever you are learning something, please make a habit of writing notes. Finally, let's look into a career tip for this video. So my tip is that always do more than what has been asked for. And this is a really good advice if you are especially at the early stages of your career. Of course, the organization culture should support this. I'll try to explain this with an example. Let's say you are given a task where you need to extract data for a particular topic. Now you have a choice. Just extract the data from the system and give it to your manager. Or what you can do is slightly try to do a bit more, which is going above and beyond. You cannot just extract the data, but try to add your inputs. For example, try to add some visual insights. Try to understand the full picture, why the data has been asked for, what is the end goal. Then give your insights and also give your solutions on how to better that end goal. Always have a disclaimer that you are new or inexperienced. So this is just based on your insight or experience. But adding those insights always show that you are serious about your career and you want to do things passionately, going above and beyond. This shows that your mindset is not just task focused. You are goal oriented and also very serious about your career and getting things done. So this was my first video. I'll be waiting for your comments and feedback. And I hope some of my insights were useful to you. Thank you for watching.